Two Drink Cinema! Cheers.
Ready? 7, 6, 5,
7 days.
Welcome to another episode of Two Drink Cinema. We are two brothers reviewing movies 2 drinks at a time. Each week we review a movie from the annals of cinema history.
The anals. Or
No.
the anals or the anals?
That's our other podcast.
Right.
And this week we are reviewing The Ring,
The Ring.
the American.
The American.
Although
yes.
2 of the main stars are not from America.
3 of them aren't. Brian Cox isn't either.
No, that's true. Featuring an Australian, a New Zealander,
And a
Scotsman.
Yep.
And a creepy kid. How are you, Brett?
Because creepy kids make Halloween movies.
I do love a creepy kid movie. It's our second one of this year,
Yeah.
after we did Poltergeist. And it's... What have we done? We haven't done The Shining yet.
No, we haven't done The Shining yet.
We've done another creepy kid movie. Drew Barrymore and E.T. No. Surely we've done another creepy kid movie. This kid in this movie would have been very good if they'd remade The Shining.
Yes.
Yeah.
Princess Bride. Fred Savage is a bit creepy in that.
You said he was one of the best things about it.
Yes, that's true. I stand by that comment.
We rate the movies each week on the Archie Q De Niro, which is very scientific and entirely made up categories about the things that are really good about a movie. And just a little spoiler alert, this is a very good movie that is going to score
Yes.
quite low.
Yeah. The score won't reflect how good the movie is. It will reflect the things we find important about how movies are made.
And how movies
Not
should
how,
be
not
rated.
how movies are made, because none of the score is how good the movie's made.
No, but when we become influential podcasters,
Yeah.
there'll be producers
There will be a course.
that are going to be like, not horny enough.
There will be a course. There will be a cinema college degree, and there will be a course, and someone will do the PhD on the horniness of Hairspray.
On the Archie Q De Niro scale.
Yeah, and why it's the perfect thing.
We should run
Like that
course.
score that's about how much women are in it.
We should run a course because if you've ever listened to any digital marketing advice, the only way to make money online is to sell courses and run webinars.
Okay, let's do
Anyway,
it.
that's just my little jab.
That was your TED Talk.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you for my TED Talk. Hairspray's the horniest movie in history, but this is The Ring,
Yes,
and you have made a cocktail.
I've made
that
a
would,
cocktail.
This definitely does not fit the color palette of the film.
It's St. Patrick's Day at Two Drink Cinema.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I did? This is
This-
the ring.
Hang on. Is this the flubber cocktail that you've just made again?
No. Oh shit. What was in the flubber cocktail?
No, you put creme de menthe in there as well.
Yeah. Yes, and it was disgusting.
Yeah. As
What
I
I
warned you
did,
it would
right?
be.
So, the ring. I couldn't find a cocktail that was like the ring, so I made one. This is a Two Drink Cinema
Is there a
original.
cocktail called a Japanese slipper?
There is, Lee.
Yeah.
So, the ring cocktail
Yeah.
is I should have done something around the ring of the glass. Anyway,
Yeah.
like
Hair.
hair. Shit.
Hair or stones.
Or stones.
Blue stones around the edge.
Yeah. So what I did was, it's a Japanese movie that's been remade into an American thing.
Okay.
So I've merged 2
Yeah.
cocktails, one
Yeah.
of which is the Japanese slipper,
Yes.
and the other one I found called a white lady.
Okay, because
So
Naomi
I've
Watts is
merged
a
the
white
2.
lady.
Exactly. I merged the 2.
Okay.
So it has gin, Cointreau, Midori, and lemon juice.
All right. It's some of our favourite things.
Exactly.
When the dog bites. The quantities will be up on the socials and up on the screen on YouTube
All
in
I
a
can
second.
smell is Midori.
Great. I love it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
It's Midori and lemon is what that is.
oh.
Yep. It's
Yeah, good.
yeah. It's lemon limey.
It was almost too bitter but then now it's not.
Yep. If
That's
it
good.
didn't fill this glass properly, I'd say a little bit of lemonade. But it does fill it quite well. And it is a circular glass.
Ooh.
Did you notice
Oh my gosh, Lee.
Did you notice that when Noah lifts his coffee mug off the table, there is a ring left
Oh
behind?
my gosh, Lee.
That's what someone wrote a whole blog article about.
Do you know how you're shocked that it's a circular glass? Could you please name me a glass that isn't?
Mason jar.
But the ring, the circle
No.
top though.
That's a square, often a square top.
Oh, it is not.
I don't know.
Fuck off. Anyway, I'm giving this is good.
Yeah, okay, fine. There's no non-circular glasses. I'm giving it a 4.
I'm giving it a 4.5.
So is it a 4.25 on
I
average?
think it might be.
Okay. How alcoholicness is the movie, though?
It's
Not.
The only little bit I saw
Yep.
is that at the shit funeral wake they go to, where Naomi Watts should be a lot sadder.
But also, it's the first time Naomi Watts has seen her sister in 3 days.
Yep. After her
Like-
niece dies suddenly.
Yeah. Like, if a family member dies, you go soon.
Naomi Watts is not a good family member. Naomi Watts' character is
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
good family person.
Yeah, I've got a couple of questions about Naomi Watts' familyness.
I'd be calling Child Protective Services. Anyway, the only thing I could see is that when he goes and's like, oh, to her sister and's like, oh, how are you? She's like, well, my sick kid suddenly died. I'm not
Yeah.
doing that well. And then the dad's like, hey.
Hi,
like-
I'm fine. How are you?
And it's like, well, he's not coping well. I'm like, yeah, well, that's fair enough.
Yeah, because his 17-year-old daughter just died out of nowhere.
He's sitting and on the coffee table, there is a glass of what looks like whiskey.
Okay.
You don't see him drink it.
It's a 0.25.
Yeah. So there's alcohol there. You don't see anybody drink alcohol during this movie.
You can presume that Aiden was conceived drunkenly.
You can assume that those teenagers got drunk and had sex in the cabin before they watched the video.
Yes.
Also, I will say previously, I Know What You Did Last Summer episode made a lot of references to Scary Movie.
He's going to again.
It was hard to watch this. I've watched it before. It's hard to watch it without laughing because of Scary Movie 3.
I was actually really disappointed last week that you didn't make any Nosferatu Scary Movie references.
That's true.
So, Wayans Brothers, where's your rip-off silent German
Yeah.
film
Come on.
parodies? Come on.
Jeez. They don't do Draculas.
Maybe we should make
Or vampires.
Maybe we should make a TikTok out of that.
They might have done a whole other thing about vampires.
It's very sour.
Yeah, right?
Not the I had a drink of the cocktail
I'm
for
gonna do
those
this.
listening.
Twilight parody movie.
Yeah, they haven't really done the monster movies thing.
Vampires suck.
That's not them though, is it?
That's not them. No, it's by some white guys.
Oh, Ken Jeong. He's not white.
Not Ken Jeong.
Yeah, he's in it.
Oh, he's in it.
See where it says Ken Jeong?
Yeah, directed by Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer.
Seltzer? You on Seltzer?
Seltzer? Anyway,
That's not what we're talking about. There is
is
going to
there-
be some scary movie references, but alcoholicness of this movie is a 0.25, and the alcohol of this cocktail is a 4.25. So it's a 4.5 overall for the alcoholicness.
taking a bit of
out of
side-
10.
a few points off for the bitterness of the cocktail. Because it's the juice of a lemon, not lemon juice.
Yeah. I have to apologise to our mother. I had a lemon slice from 7-Eleven. Shithouse.
Yeah.
And I felt guilty because Mum makes a good lemon slice in the cafe.
Oh, so you're apologising for buying it
for
from
buying a lemon slice.
I would not buy that shit from
It was
7-Eleven.
$1 next to the till.
Oh, okay.
And I'm an easy target.
I say that, but for lunch the other day I had a 7-Eleven sausage roll.
It's the best sausage roll,
It's not.
other than the one that we sell at Dodo's Delight.
There you go.
But $4.20 sausage roll.
It's definitely nowhere near the worst sausage roll I've eaten.
No, can I tell you, $4.20
Yeah.
I know they are the brand in
Is this
Australia.
turning into a sausage roll podcast?
Shithouse.
You know what else has?
4 and
you
20
know
sausage
who
rolls,
else
terrible.
once did a shit? I never went back there again.
Mm.
Pie Face did a shit sausage
They're
roll.
not bad, but their pastry is way too puffy.
Yeah. 7-Eleven, good sausage roll, especially when you're on King Street and you come out of the club at 3 o'clock in the morning and you're like, how? I did this once. It's like we were sitting there, we were waiting for a taxi or an Uber. It's like, how far away is it? Oh, 2 minutes. I'm like, all right. So I like ran into 7-Eleven, grabbed a sausage roll and then ate it and the taxi still wasn't there. And they're like, Brett, where did you go? I'm like, I just went to get a sausage roll.
I have from one venue to another venue as we've walked.
Yeah.
Been like, no, stop. I need a sausage roll.
Yeah.
And it's just kept me going for the night.
Any sausage roll connoisseurs listening,
Let us know if we should do this
do
as a
not-
spin-off.
do not, and you're in Melbourne. Oh, Mr. Whippy. You're in Melbourne.
Stop the podcast.
Stop the podcast. Mr. Whippy's here.
We'll come back with a Mr. Whippy review after
Do
this.
not get the sausage roll at the Crafty Squire.
Do get the sausage roll at Dodo's Delights.
Yes. I got this. I was a little bit inebriated.
Yeah.
Got the sausage roll. Didn't read what was in the sausage roll. It was bad sausage roll. It had pork and emu in it,
Ooh.
and then I felt sick.
It's so weird. We're the only country that eats our coat of arms. Other than maple syrup, I guess. They eat off the flag in Canada. Is that
Anyway,
their coat of arms, or would it be a beaver?
I think some people in Canada eat beavers.
Hey, Robin Chavotsky. No, that's the TV show she's in. There's always making jokes about beavers.
Oh.
Anyway, we're just padding because there's not a lot to say about the ring
Yeah,
in terms
okay.
of our scale.
But, so overall out of 10, 4.5 for alcoholic.
Yes.
Representation out of 5.
I said none. But
She's
I didn't notice what you noticed.
much like Scary Movie 3, it's parody. The kid's teacher is of African American descent.
Yep. Okay. So that's a 0.25.
She doesn't swear at the children.
Yeah. Who the fuck do
Who
that?
the fuck do that? And then the guy comes in and then he's doing 8 Mile and he's pretending to rap. It's like, you should come to this rap battle. And he's like, would, should, could, good, good. And then the teacher, Regina
Yeah.
Hall. Regina Hall.
Regina, she's great.
She is the best thing about all the movies. She goes, if we say you come, will you shut the fuck up? So that's all. And then there's like the
Regina Hall.
the mental health records clerk guy
Oh, yeah.
and a random nurse.
A random nurse.
Yeah, there's a random nurse in the Pinderschloss. That's
We've
like,
done so many
you're
Pinderschloss
nearly there,
movies.
Katie, or whatever her name is. Come
Even
on, Katie, bend your
Nosferatu
knees.
had a Pinderschloss in it.
I'm gonna go to when I get committed, I'm gonna go to the thing and just be like, Adam's Family, Ring.
Pinderschloss. Pinderschloss.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I'm just gonna go.
No, when you get committed, I'll say, I only want him to see Dr. Pinderschloss, please. I'll just,
speaking of
wheel her out of
nut
the
houses,
Addams Family.
Nurse Ratched died.
oh, yeah.
Oh,
We should have watched One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
yeah, we should have.
That was one of
That would
Danny
be like-
DeVito's early movies.
That would be the 5th Christopher Lloyd movie we've done.
If you're counting all three,
Yeah, well, you are. 'Cause that's-
Patreon,
yeah.
Back to the Futures.
Adam's Family,
What's the fourth?
also
Addams
horny.
Family. Yeah, yeah. Also horny, correct. Very horny kids movies.
Yeah, so I think the representation is
0.25.
a 0.25.
Yeah.
Because it's also the fact that it's a white movie that's made from it. Oh, no, that's not an issue for me, actually, because it's a remake. It's not like they're still playing Japanese people.
Well, yeah, they're not set in Japan,
Yeah.
playing white people.
They're set in Seattle in monsoon season. It fucking rains a
In
lot.
Cloudy season.
It rains a fucking shitload.
Well, because rain is creepy.
Oh, so creepy kids and rain make a horror
Creepy
movie.
kids and rain, yeah. Or snow. The Shining.
And a killer videotape, which is hilarious. Oh, that's the other bit. Okay.
It's not hilarious. The videotape is creepy as shit.
This first scene is quite suspenseful,
Yeah, I'll come back to that nostalgia.
but not when you're thinking of Scary Movie 3. And it's Pamela Anderson and some other girl with tits. No, I don't know her name. Can't remember.
I think
And-
you need to get better at separating parodies from
I know,
movies.
but it's hard because some of the shots are the exact same
Yeah,
shot.
I know. It's a very well-made parody. I've said it before.
And then the other girl goes, no, Pamela Anderson goes, oh, have you seen that tape? And then the other girl's like, oh, the one when they're on that boat. And then she's like talking about her sex tape.
Her sex tape.
Very funny.
Tommy Lee started an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
But like also just has a sex tape out there and put his dick on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, so what are you starting an OnlyFans for?
That was a teaser. He's a cock teaser.
Aye.
So I've the sea.
Cry. No.
He didn't cry. Not even when the horse died. That's the saddest I felt. I was like, oh, that poor horse.
I remembered that.
That was random.
Yeah. We talked.
We never really got to why the horses were so important, did we?
No. The horses went mad, and that's what sent the mum mad.
And then
She
she
lost all
the
their
daughter.
horses. And then the mum went in the Pinderschloss. The combination... no. The horses must have gone mad because of Samara.
Because she was on the ground, seeping her madness through
no.
the thing. Because his wife wasn't meant to have children.
Samara has this thing, right, called... I looked it up. It is called Nensha, which is this Japanese idea of thought projection, psychic thought projection. That's what she has.
Okay.
So you know Brian Cox is
Yeah.
always like the things he'd make you see. And that's how she makes the videotape. And Noah says there's no control from when it was recorded. It's because her mind, Samara's mind,
Oh, put it in the tape.
is psychically putting it on the tape, which is why there's no reflection in the mirror either of a video camera.
Yep.
Right? So she must have thought projected onto the horses because the horses kept her up at night. And so she's like, I fucking hate these horses. I'm going to make them run into the sea.
I'm going to kill them from my well.
No, she wasn't in the well yet when she was up in the barn.
Oh, right.
And then she kills the horses.
What? They put her in the barn.
She kills the horses.
Yep.
Right? She sends the mum mad. And then her and the mum end up in the Pinderschloss.
Yep.
But then they get released and she throws her in the well.
Yep.
Because even when they're released from the Pinderschloss, she's still fucking with their heads.
Yeah, because she's not mad.
So it's like-
she's just psychotic.
They go away, come back with the girl, then they get their images in their head. So they put her in the barn.
Yes.
She doesn't like the horses, so she makes the horses run
imprints
into
her
the ocean.
madness on them. Yep.
So then they go, the daughter and the mum
This
go
is
in
just
the
storyline of
Pinderschloss,
thing. Yep.
and then they come out of the Pinderschloss, but Samara's still putting thoughts in her head, so they throw her down a well. And then for some reason, people build a cabin on top of a well.
I fucking don't know. I lost that. And for some reason, there's marbles.
Yeah. Anyway, Nensha is the Japanese psychic thought
So
projection.
she's like,
And the theory is that Samara has that, and she uses that to communicate from within the well. But also, that's how she scares people to death with those images. That's why their hearts just stop.
yeah, because
they're
then they
scared
watch
to
it and
death.
then they go, "Bah," she comes out of the TV and it's like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah, and she not only scares them by coming out of the TV, but scares them by thought projecting scary things into their head that scare them to death.
So why did their pictures go weird?
Because they are doomed.
Cool. In
Yeah.
scary movies, no.
Because pictures are unable to photograph dead people.
Like vampires.
That's why Bruce Willis is not in any pictures. Spoiler alert. Another Japanese folk thing that I found was a thing called onryo, which I'm pronouncing badly for my year 11 Japanese teachers listening. They're Japanese vengeful spirits that recreate the wrongs that were done to them. So that's the kind of folk thing that
okay.
Samara is based on. But back to crying.
Didn't cry.
I didn't cry because I didn't care. No, I did care.
It's not a sad movie.
No, it's
though.
not a sad movie, but it's also not... I don't cry at sad things. I cry at
think-
happy things.
I think it would have been better if she died.
Naomi Watts.
Yeah.
Nah, because they have to keep the cycle going. That's one of the things.
it's a ring.
It's a ring, yeah. Not the ring cycle, the opera.
Not the rinse cycle on my washing machine.
No, the ring.
Right.
It is a cyclical thing. I didn't cry.
Return to Oz was the other one with the Pinter slot.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So far we're not doing great. And I think the next part of the Archie Q De Niro score won't score very high either. And that is the horniness of the movie.
Well, Noah is the product of horniness.
Noah.
But he's like...
Not Noah.
No, Adrian. Fuck.
Aiden.
Aiden. Yeah. Who spelled A-I-D-A-N.
Aidan.
It should be D-E-N. But anyway, I'm not a parent. Did you do anything in the cabin? You can presume that they had sex. And that's why they die, following the Scream rules. The slasher rules. But it's not a horny movie. I'm going to give it a 0.
Is Noah horny for her?
Yeah, always. But he's not horny to be a dad. Excited.
He's the product of horniness.
I saw a meme.
Hey.
It was like, it's a text back and
Are
forth.
we saying horny is 0 before you
Yeah.
start that? Yep.
Text back and forth. It's like, what's the word when you're horny for something but it's not sex? And then the other person texts back and like, you mean excited?
Yeah.
Noah is not horny for being a dad. He even says to the son, Aiden says, do you want to be around more?
He's like,
And
"Fuck
Noah
no,
says,
man.
no.
I'd prefer to die.
He says, but I also don't want anyone else to be around. And then the kid goes, it's a conundrum. Or however creepy kid voice he's got.
Because the babysitter taught him the word conundrum.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they showed the babysitter because up until that, I was like, where's the kid?
I literally wrote in my notes, we went 3 whole days without seeing the kid.
And then the kid was like, and then she comes back at the end. It's like, oh, I saved the day, saved the chick in the well. And then he's like, you shouldn't have done that.
No, hang on. Before she takes the kid home, we are uncles, okay?
Correct.
If we babysitted one of the nieces, and our brother rocked up and the niece was asleep on the lounge room floor, I would fully expect the middle brother to lose his shit.
Yeah, especially if
that is not good.
Especially if it seems like I wasn't home at the time.
Yeah.
Because they just walk in, pick up the kid and go.
And leave.
Not
Pick up
like,
their kid
thanks,
from the lounge room
thanks,
floor.
sister. Yeah. And not even like on his side.
With a pillow and a
sleeping, you know.
blanket.
He's just like lying on his stomach, one arm this way, one arm that way, and even my head went that way, and even my head went that way.
Are we meant to think that he might have died?
Yes.
She doesn't react like that, though.
Yeah, I know. That was bad.
So are we then thinking that the auntie just let him fall asleep on the floor and left him there?
The aunties had a big week.
Yeah. Also, if your sister has just lost their kid, don't ask them to babysit.
Yeah, yeah.
She's a terrible mother.
She's a terrible person. I didn't like her.
She spent more effort trying to save Samara than she did trying to save her son. And then she gets
Yeah.
home and she's like, I'm going to take one day off work. Like, one day.
One day. It'll be Saturday.
And even he's like, but I got to go to school, Mum.
Yeah. I love the bit where he's making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, going to school. And then
then
he
he
just goes to school. The door closes and she's like, what?
And then he bumps into Noah and he's like, no, I can't be fucked with you, and walks past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird, right?
Weird kid.
He's in Scary Movie 3, the kid's funny.
Okay.
He thinks you're a girl. He doesn't know you're a man. You're going to get your period in 3, 2, 1. Ow.
Okay. 0 for horniness.
We're watching Scary Movie 3 after this.
0 for horniness. Insults. I don't know. She says to Noah to grow up.
She... I don't know. There's no insults. My wife was crazy. She wasn't meant to have a child. Is that an insult?
No, it's not nice. but no,
No.
0.
Jesus. So,
Enclosure.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What was with the guy at the hotel weird creepy cabin place?
No.
Why did we need that card trick?
I like that. I like sometimes when movies have normal things happen in them.
Nah.
Or was that meant to be his taxidermy thing? Norman Bates style.
Was he flirting with her?
If you live,
Was he a bit horny?
it was a bit. But let's say you are essentially, I imagine, by himself in the woods, up in the mountains, and Naomi Watts walks in. You're going to flirt with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
He'd
I don't
probably
think-
flirt if fucking
Noah
Susan
walked
Boyle
in.
walked in. I don't know why Susan Boyle.
Susan Boyle's hot. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Can sing, obviously.
Enclosure for the E of Archie.
Yeah.
It's
so
just apartments, isn't it?
it's at the start. The niece lives in
It's
a
a
house,
big house.
and the ranch is a big house.
But
Yeah.
majority apartments.
Yeah.
Noah apartment, Rachel apartment. It's a nice apartment.
Another but. Samara lives in a well.
Well, I would
Well.
technically say she only lives there for a week.
7 days.
Yeah.
I know. I just wanted to make that joke. To 2.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Any point that you bring up for the ranch, you take down because Samara lives in a well.
Yeah, well, it's well decorated.
They
It's well plumbed.
moist.
It's moist. The quotability is the Archie Q, right?
Yeah.
I got nothing.
It's not quotable.
Because it's not a movie about... They don't talk a lot.
No. But it's iconic. The 7 days thing is become kind of iconic. You will die in 7 days.
Yeah.
It's become an iconic thing, but it's not quotable. I did like, though, when the teacher chose Naomi Watts, the terrible mother of the
Oh,
drawings.
yes. It's like he doesn't talk much.
He doesn't talk much. That doesn't mean he has nothing to say. When
Quite wise.
if she listened to the son, she'd know not to have rescued the evil, killing Onryo from the well.
If she listened to more people, she wouldn't have watched the fucking tape in the first place.
She's an investigative reporter. That's what she does.
I do like that she's an investigative reporter because it does, like, allow her to do that stuff.
And
Whereas, you know, like in other movies where they're just normal people and then they're going through the library records and they find all this shit. Like, you wouldn't do that. But that's her job, so she knows how to do it.
and she can go and she can find this and she can work the tape machine.
With
and,
the weird tape machine technician lady.
yeah, she was flirting.
Oh, she was, yeah.
But if you were down in the basement in the video archives of a Seattle newspaper by yourself and Naomi Watts walked in,
You'd flirt with her.
you'd flirt.
But she's probably the best looking person in Seattle, Naomi Watts.
That's true.
So quotability.
Is she the Mark Wahlberg of Seattle?
She's the Mark
That's that
Wahlberg
joke in
of
Ted.
Seattle.
Mila Kunis like, I'm dating the best looking man in Boston.
Yeah.
Boston.
Boston.
And because she's doing an actual investigation, like it gives her a reason to investigate, not just like, oh, I heard this story, I'm a bit curious.
Yeah, and it's, yeah. Well, it's also, I need to save my own life and the life of my son that I don't really even care for.
And I think it adds to the suspense as well that as she discovers things, we discover things. And we put the bits of the story together and realise that it's leading to somewhere.
Well, the suspense is twofold. Because there's the suspense of counting down
Yeah, or up.
or up to day 7.
Yep.
But there's
5,
also
10
the,
p.m.
Yeah, there's also the suspense of what the fuck is this tape?
Yes, and is she going to find out about it? And is she going to find out
Within
about
7
it
days.
in time? She takes her time. though.
She wastes a lot of the first couple of days. Not going to lie.
Considering she doesn't have a kid to look at. Oh, no, she does. Considering
she-
she doesn't look after her kid, she wastes a lot of time.
Yep. But in terms of quotability,
Because she gets to day 6 and then she's like, Noah, we're fucking out of time. I'm like,
and then she's like, then it's like day 6, and she's like, we're out of time. You have to look after him now,
yeah.
which is a pretty easy job.
But also, like, it's only going to be for 2 days
Yeah, because he's going to die.
because Noah's going to die the next day and then Aiden's going to die the day after that on
Yeah.
the lounge room of his auntie's house. And how fucked is that for the auntie?
Yeah, she's like, I'm moving.
Also, like,
She'll think the house is haunted.
she shouldn't have given the babysitting job to her sister who's just lost a kid, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, even if Aiden hadn't seen the tape, but we see from Naomi Watts' development in days 2 and 3, Aiden's going to have nightmares.
Yes.
So imagine, this is actually pretty morbid, so maybe don't imagine it. You've lost your daughter,
Yep.
your sister, who didn't offer condolences until day 3,
Or at all.
drops. Well, and when she did offer condolences, then she went out and had a smoke with your daughter's friends.
Your daughter's slut friends. Yeah.
Then she dumps the kid on you.
Yes.
That's creepy.
Yep.
Then the kid has nightmares for 2 nights in a row.
Yeah, and wakes up and you're not home.
And also, if Naomi Watts hadn't have survived, then you've lost your sister. Then 2 days later, you lose your nephew. Naomi Watts is shit. in this movie.
I don't like her
She's
character.
a very good actor.
Which made me not like or really care about what happened because I didn't like her. She was a bitch. She was basically
Yeah.
rude to everyone,
Yeah,
including her boss.
I didn't mind that though. She's like, I'm working up too good a story. Shh, 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 go away, go away.
But then she was rude to everyone.
Yeah,
The second rudest person was the checkout chick when Thing was buying cigarettes.
you're gonna die.
You're going to die. Don't smoke. I'm like, well, fucking, I'll take my business elsewhere, you stupid bitch.
And then she looks at the screen and she goes, "See, you're already dying. Your face is whooped up." Quotability.
I've got a 0.
I've got a 0. It's a good quote, but it's not sayable again.
This is not going well. All right. The D for De Niro is for the drink. Is it a Coke or a Pepsi movie? Neither.
I didn't see either.
I didn't see neither a Coke nor a Pepsi.
It's a 0.
Surely there's something in there.
I'm going to Google product placement, The Ring.
Well, they didn't have a big budget, so they wouldn't have had the budget for product placement. Actually, the budget was decent. 48 million. Yeah.
And it took 250.
Yeah.
I think it's a 0, unfortunately, because I can't recall Coke or Pepsi being in it. I don't recall her drinking at all.
So far, we're on a 6.75.
Oh, jeez.
Endurance.
So,
all right.
A Nero.
Here we go.
A Nero has to get a 30 or something.
Nero has to get 10s across the board.
It still looks very good.
The only
There's no effects issues.
the effects issues are good, right? Even
Yeah.
the coming out of the TV,
Very
and everything. She doesn't punch on with someone in the lounge room.
Yeah,
though.
okay.
The only thing that it doesn't endure is the fact that it is a videotape,
Yeah.
and then they get called on the landline.
Yeah. Because by the time they would have made The Ring 4, it would have been a DVD-R.
By the time, if they made it now, it would be a viral video and everybody would be dead.
Yeah, because people would have watched it. It would have gone for 15 seconds on TikTok.
Yeah.
The only people that would have survived were the people that watched 3 seconds and move on. But then TikTok's algorithm would keep putting
Keep
other
putting it in
versions back
yeah.
there.
Yeah. And then
We're on TikTok at Two Drink Cinema, by the way.
Then you'd go the actual video.
Yeah.
Then you'd scroll past to somebody watching half the thing,
reaction.
and then the one you fucking hate it. I hate that there's somebody looking at the screen and going, "Okay, yeah, okay," along with some other video.
And then you'd scroll again, and it would be someone on selfie mode going, "Look how weird my face looks."
Then we go, and look, I'm gonna.
And then we scroll past, and be like, "I'm on day 4 and I still feel fine. Look at this rope I just pulled out of my throat." people on TikTok are stupid, but follow us at Tooting Cinema.
All right. So to kill off all the whatever people are on TikTok, what are we up to now? Gen Zs?
Gen Alphas.
Actually,
There's a lot of our age people on TikTok.
okay. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying doesn't endure properly. But other than that, the look and everything is good.
Yeah. I think you could make it now with a videotape.
Because it would be some sort of vintage.
Yeah.
It'd be discovered at Savers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At a thrift shop for our international listeners. The only effect issue was there's one shot where the horse rears up in front of Naomi Watts, which looks a little fake.
Yeah.
But that's picking at straws there.
That is. I'm going to give it a 4.
I'm also going to give it a 4.
Good.
Partly because I feel bad for all the zeros.
I'm going to give it an 8. Nostalgia.
Now, I remembered bits of it.
I remembered the bits that were referenced in Scary Movie 3 to bring it up again.
Okay.
If you're playing a drinking game to this episode, I hope it's not how many times Brett mentioned Scary Movie 3.
Japanese white lady cocktail.
Yeah. The Ring.
The Ring cocktail that's very green, like the moss on the walls of the well.
The movie has a green hue to it.
No, it doesn't. It has a grey hue. I saw it in the cinema with my friend Mark, and that first scene was super creepy. I almost felt like leaving the cinema.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was bored.
Creeped out.
I actually liked that it didn't have credits before it or anything.
I just started.
It was just like DreamWorks, here you go.
DreamWorks, the little moon flashed with the ring. Did you notice that?
Yeah. Very good.
There were a few other flashes of the ring. One, I only noticed one though. But from what I've been reading, there are more. Tyler Durden style splices of one frame of the ring.
Oh, where you have to go slow and then...
Shane goes, do you want to rewind and pause and see what that was? I'm like, it was the ring. It wasn't actually Tyler Durden's just spliced a big cock in there.
I'm running out of time, Shane. I'm going to die in 7 days.
Yeah,
I don't have time to rewind the video.
I don't have time to rewatch these things. That's why we're recording this one early.
Yeah.
Could be our last episode. No, it won't
So
be.
Nostalgia, I'm giving it a 0.5.
Nostalgia, I'm giving it a 2.
Cool. Okay, Impact.
It's a very good movie. I'm just saying, I know we're only up to like 12 out of 50, 60 for the score. I think it's a good movie. There's The Ring 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then because of this, they remade, like they did The Grudge.
Yep.
And they've remade some other Asian horror movies. And lots of people got into Asian horror, including my husband.
Yeah.
So that's a big impact thing.
Scary Movie 3.
Yep.
In Family Guy, there's a clip where he watches the Ring movie.
Yes. Peter.
And then it kills him instantly, right? But it's not the Ring. It's not that. It's the movie, The Mannequin. And he goes...
We'll share it on the socials.
And then there's some other thing as well that the Ring girl shows up
Cindy,
as well.
the TV's leaking.
Cindy,
That's Scary Movie 3.
The TV's leaking. Oh, looks like another white bitch Tom fell down a well. 6 black people died today, but they got to show this.
Oh, representation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
so
girl.
sequels, parodies, and a big Asian horror thing because of this.
Yes. There's also a Treehouse of Horror episode from The Simpsons.
You have to Google it, it doesn't count.
But it's a thing.
Yeah, but it should be impact if you knew it.
I knew the Family Guy thing.
Like The Shining, I know, is they've done a all work and no play makes Homer something something.
In the Family Guy one, they do Stephen King books.
Yeah.
And then they do Stand By Me. And then they do Shawshank.
Yeah.
Did they do Shawshank last? Or something. Say they don't do Shawshank. They do Shawshank last, right?
Yeah.
They go Stephen King also wrote The Shining. Wouldn't that be cool? Couldn't you imagine little Stewie being the kid red rum? Anyway, here's Shawshank Redemption. Anyway.
Impact, I'm going to give it a 3.75.
Okay, I'm going to give it a 3.
Yeah.
It's a Family Guy reference. It's a 0.5 because it's not a full episode.
Yes.
Simpsons reference is a 0.5.
Yep.
Scary Movie 3 is a 1.
Yep.
And then the impact on general cinema is a 1.
Okay. All right. 3 for me. Rewatchability. You have to, with good suspense movies, you have to have a break between them. Did you have anything more for impact, actually?
No.
No. You have to have a good break between them. I reckon it's been 10 years since I watched this, and that helped the
Yeah.
rewatchability.
It's been a couple of years since I watched it. But I think that's the thing. It's like once you know the story, the watchability of it decreases. Because that's what it's all about, really.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, but I think this one is fairly deep.
Yeah, and I think there's more in it. There's probably more to the story that I missed, like how I asked what the fuck happened with the horses.
Yeah, so I had to explain it all to you.
Yeah, by a step-by-step process.
Yeah. I'm just going to release that as our TikTok this week, explaining The Ring.
Rewatchability, I reckon I'll give it a 2.
I reckon I'll give it a 3
Okay.
because I reckon there's enough in there that the gap between watching is not as long as some horror movies is.
Right. Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But there's not enough in there that you can rewatch it semi-regularly.
Okay.
Like Rear Window, I think, is one that you can watch without heaps of gap in between.
Yeah. Because the suspense is still there even though you know what's happening.
Yeah.
Whereas the suspense of this is finding out what the story is. And once you know that.
Yeah. Well, you know it now more because I've explained it to you. So I've probably extended the rewatchable
I already knew
time.
it a bit more because of
Scary
Scary
Movie
Movie
3.
3.
Okay.
And also on Scary Movie Day 3, they build Charlie Sheen's house on the well. And Charlie Sheen's house is the house from Signs.
Oh,
And Charlie Sheen's nephew is a white guy that wants to be a rapper.
is he a priest?
He is.
Is that the one with the scene where his wife gets scrunched and
Yes,
she's like
Denise
in
would just
half?
get in half this way or this way. Can I steal with the
Yeah,
donut
yeah.
and the thing?
Yeah, yeah.
And then the funny bit with
Is that Cameron Manheim?
Cameron Manheim, and the hat keeps getting bigger. In
Oh,
the
yeah.
hat, yeah. Scary Movie 3 is hilarious.
All right, we're watching it after this.
All right.
General thoughts.
General thoughts. It's a very well-made movie,
Yeah.
and it still does hold up. It looks good.
Yeah.
The effects are very good. The thing... There's a few bits that are weird. Like, Noah goes, you have to go look at the records at the mental hospital, right?
At the Pinderslosh,
Yeah.
yes.
And he just walks up to the counter. People are having a conversation.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
He isn't like, excuse me. He just like, I need the records for this person. And they're like, are you a family member? He's like,
Excuse me, fucker.
no. I'm like, we're in the middle of a conversation. Can
Yeah.
you fuck off?
Yeah.
And then he breaks in, and then there's a fly. So it's like, oh, that must be related because there's a fly. And there's no flies anywhere in Seattle.
There's only one fly, and that's the same fly she picked off the screen. I remembered that. That was cool.
I remember that because in Scary... No.
The tape is super creepy.
I found bits of it creepy.
I didn't like the nail.
Oh, yeah, that was cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah. That bit and...
There's the maggots, and
maggots
then the
that
maggots
turn
turn
into
into the
people?
bodies, and then she's off the cliff. And then... Oh, one thing I read in an article was that as the movie goes along, each time the video is viewed, Samara is a little bit further out of the well each time.
Oh.
Until at the end, she full comes out and kills Noah.
That's right.
Correct. I like that we see the time on the VCR when you put the each person that puts the video in.
Yeah.
That's not that we really have a time countdown.
You know what did annoy me? Other than Naomi Watts' character generally being a bitch and not
And a
likable at
terrible
all.
mother.
I did get over the bit where she's like, she's going through the articles and she's like, no, 10 p.m. But this at 10 p.m. And she like reads it out loud. Like, we're seeing it on screen.
Yeah.
You don't need to read it out loud. That got really annoying.
I don't know how she did all of that investigation, and then it wasn't until she was halfway to the island that she realised that there was a daughter. Like she's all
I
like,
didn't think of that.
she's all like horses. Horses went mad. Then the woman went mad, and there was a husband, and then the horses went mad, and then the woman went mad, and then there was the Pinderschloss, and then she's like, "Let's go," and then she's on the boat
Yeah.
to get to the island. She's like, "Oh fuck, there's a daughter."
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if you'd read the article properly.
Yes.
I normally wouldn't
When
like.
she cut the
Oh yeah, that was
hair
gross.
out of her mouth.
There was the rope of the
Yeah.
or
whatever it was.
diode.
Disgusting.
Grossness. I normally wouldn't like that. There's flashes back when she sees the ladder. We see the bit of the tape.
Yeah.
I normally wouldn't like that, but I think it was all there to part of Naomi Watts is having visions,
Yeah.
and so that's why we're seeing it again. Maybe
Okay.
the tape is creepy, just as on its own thing, but then it becomes a bit more creepy when you realise that it's Samara sending you visions
Yeah. You know,
of things Samara's actually seen and been a part of.
you know what would have made this movie worse? If they did actually give it to Gwyneth Paltrow. Ugh.
Oh,
Ugh. Speaking of unlikable.
yeah.
But they wanted people that were like nobodies.
Which, yeah, I think Naomi Watts and Noah are people that aren't known. And I think that definitely helps to be like, this could happen to you.
Yeah, because they're just normal people. It's not happening to Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
It's just happening to some chick in Seattle where it rains all the time, apparently.
And, yeah. So, like, if you go up into the mountains, don't watch that blank videotape. But, and the other one good thing about Naomi Watts is she doesn't do stupid horror bitch things.
No, she doesn't do like in I Know What You Did Last Summer. She doesn't do all
Yeah,
the
or
stupid
every
shit that
other
they did.
dumb girl in horror and like go upstairs when she shouldn't, or
Don't go behind the door!
yeah, all that shit.
Yeah.
The only dumb thing she does is pat the horse. That horse is
Yeah.
clearly about to lose it. Stop trying to pat it.
Oh, you know what bit was intense? Mm-hmm. Where the dad fucking fries himself.
Oh yeah,
that was a
well
bit
done.
over the top, but good. Anyway, overall, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Overall, I'm going to give it a 4
Okay.
out of 5. I was suspended for a lot of the film,
Oh, did you have to go to detention?
held in suspense.
Oh, you were held in suspense.
Good suspenseful opening and a good build up across the film. Well acted, well shot, and well structured.
Nice.
Well done, Gore.
So overall, Lee, I'm happy to say that it made a bit of a comeback
good.
in the Aneros.
What's that meme or that video where it's like, oh, I thought they had us in the first half. Like they're talking to some sports guy. I'm going to find it.
Okay, great.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not the worst movie we've done. Overall, it's got a 36.5.
Oh, that's actually not bad.
So that is just a 1 point below Beauty Cat and I Know What You Did Last Summer.
All right.
So it's
All
the
right.
5th worst movie we've done. God, how bad was Flubber? Must have been. Jeez.
Jeez, how good was Gone with the Wind?
How good was Goldmember, apparently?
Patreon.
All right.
Okay, break.
Yes, and we will come back with some Google
Geo's
reviews.
Reviews.
2 Drink Cinema!
All right, some Google reviews. But before we go on, I forgot one thing to say. How do we feel about the fact that Naomi Watts is willing to create another copy and kills other people
Just
to save the son that she didn't care about?
I think they only did it to explain what it does.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's never going to stop.
It's never gonna stop, Rachel.
Yep.
You know he's a lawyer.
That toupee's not fooling anyone.
David Dorfman works at the U.S. House of Representatives, serving as
Jesus.
legislative director and general counsel to the Energy and Commerce Committee's vice chair and Homeland Security Committee's Cyber Security Subcommittee emeritus chair,
God.
and general counsel for the U.S. House of Representatives.
This is my favorite horror movie I have
Okay,
seen.
we're into the reviews.
It definitely scares me. I really just don't get how people don't think this is scary. Of course, the first 15 minutes was very scary, and when we learned about Samara and how she had gone and killed 4 teenagers in only 1 week, it just got interesting. The part where she also climbed out of the TV was scary as well. If you are looking for something scary to watch, I'd recommend this. It is scary. I added that because I feel like she didn't say scary
yeah.
enough during the review.
That review was like just mentioned the start at the end. This person said, if you are looking for a horror movie that would actually scare you without any irrelevant scenes or a slow burn, then this movie isn't the movie for you. In my opinion, just watch the first 15 or 20 minutes, then skip to the ending.
Oh, great.
Is it 15 or 20? Because I feel like that's making a difference. Like if you watch the first 15 minutes, the girl might not have died yet.
Yeah, true.
And then
you
you
watch
just-
up until she dies and then it flips to Naomi Watts and then you turn it off.
Then you watch the end.
I love horror movies. When I watched this, I was actually scared of TVs after XD.
XD, is that the smiley face?
I don't know.
I was actually scared of TVs after. XD's
XD.
the emoji.
Well, do an emoji, mate. This was written 2 years ago. Emojis were a
Emojis
thing.
existed.
I
Did
s-
she go to a motel and put the TV out on the balcony
Maybe.
like the mum in Poltergeist?
Who knows the dad?
What have we got against TVs?
I don't know. I was thinking that. I swear I'm never buying a VH tape. Ever.
Oh God.
Samara has a semi-sad backstory, and I find it kind of weird she keeps coming back with the burning hand thing. But this is by far a 100 million star movie.
I don't think so.
Is that 8? Is that 8 zeros?
That's a 10 million.
10 million star movie. 9 people found this helpful.
I think this person that I'm about to read is just making a flex. Laura, with an extra A. This movie didn't scare me at all. The first time I watched it was with my uncle's wife, Auntie, when I was 6 years old.
Auntie?
I didn't get scared while she did, and I just didn't understand why she was scared. I later watched it again when I was 13 and still didn't find it scary. It's boring. Not scary at all. Nothing actually happens.
Does me saying I don't find horror movies scary, does that come off as a flex?
No, because you didn't write a whole review about
Okay.
when I was 6 years old and my uncle's wife, who isn't my auntie, was scared and I wasn't. You're too clever for
I'm
horror
too
movies.
clever.
Laura
So good.
spells her name with 3 A's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So good. IDK. It's just so good. Me and my year 10 old sister watched it, and it not scary. It's just a really good mystery pilot line. So it is a horror movie, but more of a mystery plot line. That was a bad one to end on, Brett.
Rachel should have died minute 1. Such an insufferable character. Truth or Dare had a better ending, and that entire movie was absolute BS.
Gosh. Wow.
What are we doing next?
That's a
Oh,
good
that's up to
question,
me.
Lee. That's up to you.
Okay, we've watched some scary movies. Not scary movie.
Scary Movie 4.
So I'm going to
War of the
turn my
Worlds.
screen a little bit away from you
Alrighty.
because we're going to do something a little bit funner. Okay?
Oh, okay. I reckon I know what it is.
It was released on
If you say the year, I might guess.
November 11th.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the year.
Oh, okay.
It
Fine.
had a budget of 28 million
Well, that's not much.
and box office 504 million.
Is it Aladdin?
Yep. Directed by John Musker and Ron Clements. Starring Scott Wenger, Linda Larkin, Robin Williams.
Is the reason you didn't say the year is because it's the only movie of 1992 we haven't reviewed yet?
Yep. Literally the only movie.
Oh, okay. Good.
So we've got to do 6 degrees to get from Aladdin. I read a blog article the other day that was saying that Aladdin ruined animation for voice actors because after Robin Williams was Genie,
Oh, yes.
everyone needed to have at least a Robin Williams in their thing, which is why we have
James L. Jones.
a Disney movie that
Idina
is
Menzel.
like Chris Pratt and Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Rather than all these voice actors because it is a different skill set. Anyway,
Wow.
Aladdin. One, 2, 3. Oh, freaking help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, Robin Williams
Yeah.
is Tim Curry.
From what?
Tim Curry, Fern Gully.
Oh,
Tim
okay.
Curry, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Kieran
Gets us
Culkin.
to... Yes, Kieran Culkin. That saves us a step.
Kieran
Look what you
Culkin.
did there, little jerk.
Kieran Culkin is in Home Alone 2 with Tim Curry, who is in Succession with Brian Cox, who's in the
Succession
ring.
with Brian Cox, who's in the ring.
Nice.
Well
I
done.
started doing that,
Oh, yep.
but I didn't get that before you did.
Who's the other one?
Macaulay Culkin.
No, the other guy in Succession.
There's a lot of guys in
Oh,
Succession.
that's in Sky High.
Nicholas Braun?
Yeah,
Something like that.
who plays the glow one.
Yes, the one that dresses like a 2000s rapper.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
glows. Anyway, if you reckon you can do better, then this is shared each week in the Two Drink Cinema Facebook group. So jump in there and see if you can do better than Aladdin to the ring in 4 steps.
Yes.
Okay. Next week, Aladdin is what we're watching. If you are keeping up,
Cannot wait.
it's my favourite.
My favourite Disney movie.
Yeah, it's right
Actually,
up
no.
there. Good tunes.
There's is Big Business Disney?
It's on Disney Plus. Doesn't mean it's Disney. Could be
Hocus
Fox.
Pocus is on Disney.
Oh yeah.
It's a Disney movie.
We haven't talked about Hocus Pocus 2 yet.
Guess what I'm watching right now?
Okay. Thank you for listening to another episode or watching another episode of Two Drink Cinema. Make sure you like, subscribe, all of the things that you need to do. Leave us a rating and review on the podcast platforms. Join our Facebook group and follow us on the socials. All the links are in the episode description below. Thank you, Brett.
Thanks, Lee.
7 days. See you in 7 days, listeners.
Two Drink Cinema!